Hey, good evening, everybody. We'll get started here in just a minute. Appreciate everybody joining. Hey, Bobby, good to see you. Patrick, I saw DK was on there earlier. He's probably still in the shower or trying to get his waterlogged OS1 set out of there. I don't know. So tonight we're gonna go over. I got a card up here on the screen. We're gonna do Sonic cards. Someone suggested this in the chat a couple weeks ago, and I remembered it and I thought about it. And I really like Sonic. It was one of those characters that I loved when I first got my Sega Genesis. We're gonna talk a little bit about maybe the '90s, a little bit, some things, some video games, stuff like that, and just draw this cool card. Again, it's by another week of Brent Engstrom again. His artwork, which is fantastic. Just happened to work out that way. I seem to do a lot of his work or sketch a lot of his cards, but he's awesome. And this one's from the '80s set, from the We Hate the '80s set. So kind of revisiting that one, even though I think it's from the '80s set or the '90s. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, I think it is from the '90s. Sorry, '90s and '80s or so they sort of blend, right? Hey, DK, good to see you there. Because you're watching Sonic 2. That's really cool. I haven't seen Sonic 2. My son saw Sonic 1 and liked it. I didn't get to see it, but I heard a lot of good things about it. Like they actually took feedback and went back and redid the movie better than it was originally. So hopefully the second one's just as good. But anyway, tonight let's go over a couple of things, show you some new cards I got, and then we'll sketch a little quick sketch of Sonic here. So let me get to the mainstream here. And I debated whether to do the artist tiles again. I found my smooth ones from last week. It's, the textured ones I worked with the Slimer card were okay, but I really missed having the smooth stock. So I was thinking about doing that for this one. It's just a cheat, but I'm going to go back, I think, and do a real sketch card on one of these two. And you're asking, what's the difference? They're the same, right? They're not the same. I ordered some new ones, GPK, and here's the old background. Remember, if you saw these before, these are pretty cool. Love these cards. Great stock. And I went and I noticed the store had been down for a while, and they sent me some stickers when I made my order too. So I ordered some more sketch cards, and this is the new back. So it says Gradient in the back here. So it's nice. Basically the same finish on the back, same finish on the front, but just a different design for them. So it kind of, it does look a little more glossy. I'm wrong about that. You know what? Looking at it again, this is slightly more matte, actually. That is a little more glossy, but it's minor. But there is a little more gloss to it, obviously. Can't tell with the light there, but a little more gloss, good touch. So, but I like that. It's a cool card. I like the stickers. It's pretty cool. So thanks for that. That's the little logo there from gbk.com. So I'm not connected to them in any way. I just like their cards. So, and they're a great reference site as well. So, we all know them. So anyway, let's start on one of these. So it's pretty neat. I ordered a 24 pack of these, and they send you one free one no matter what you order. So you get 25 for, I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't a whole lot, but these are nice cards. So DK, I saw a video. I looked at your channel a while back, and I noticed you did some sketch cards. You had a adventure getting some made. Do you still have those? Do you still work on them? You let me know in the chat. Those look pretty nice, like the branding you did on them. And I've been meaning to do my own stock for a long time. I've just haven't gotten around to it. I haven't, again, like designing websites. It's like one of those things I dread, trying to put some branding on something. But I definitely want this style stock, this type of card, print on this type of card. The banner, I don't know, but the banner's the big question, And then do you put a bar down here? Do you put no bar? I don't know. Back's pretty self-explanatory. But anyway, I'm gonna get right to it, so we don't sit here all night watching me drawing things. But let's use the new card. They're basically identical. So just the backs. Here's the legacy back here. We hate the '90s. We hate the '90s. So I had Sonic the Hedgehog was my first video game I got with the Sega Genesis, and a lot of people's because it came with the system. I remember that game. I went from like a Nintendo, regular Nintendo, not a Super Nintendo, to the Genesis. 8-bit graphics to 16-bit, and Sonic was such a quick and fast game. It was very different than Mario Brothers. All right, I'm gonna get started here. Let's just feel out where I want to put Sonic at. So there's a lot going on in this card. I'm sure I have enough room to fit most of the action in there and stuff there. Sonic, so yeah, Bobby B saying he loved Sonic as a kid. The Mega Drive, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the Genesis or the Mega Drive over there. But the Genesis over here, I had that. I saved up all my money from cutting grass over a summer to buy that system. Might have been 2 summers. I don't remember exactly how long it took, but that was a big deal. And I had the Sega Genesis until I started doing PC gaming. I didn't buy a PlayStation. I didn't have a lot of those other things. Went from Genesis all the way to like from consoles, Genesis all the way to Xbox or the original Xbox. So kind of how far that process was for me. There's a lot of PC gaming in between there. But still love the Genesis. I still have it over here. I have my Genesis still. And I'm going to sort of hook up some stuff to my new television over here in the upstairs and bring those old vintage game systems back to life if I can get them hooked up correctly, just so I can use them or let my kid look at them and say, I don't like this. He plays his Nintendo Switch. He plays my Xbox One. Don't have the newest Xbox. I couldn't be bothered to try to find one during the pandemic. Back there. I just want to kind of place out the hands. Kind of a weird place to start, not framing up the head and all the other stuff, but I want to give enough room over here to get to this ring. I want to have a ring over here he's grabbing. I might make it go off the card. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out later. But not much arm here showing. He's got like a glove going around. Shape right on the head here. Strong is more of like a 3/4 drawing. It's going to be less of a hard to get on the sketch card. I get him, his body, and there's a tree that will come up over here. The spikes on him will be stuck in the tree a little bit, which is what's holding him back from the ring. And then we'll do a little bit of a spin effect down here for his shoes, and then a little smoke if I can fit it in there. Well, I thought about doing a larger card, but this will be all right. Yeah, I got a Super Nintendo later. I did myself, but I didn't even have one either. I never got one. The NES, the original one, lasted so long. Like they made games for that thing forever, well into the '90s actually, um, until the end. I had one of those for a long time. Still have my Nintendo, and I still have my Genesis. And then years ago I bought some Ataris and stuff. I have a bunch of Ataris. I didn't grow up with an Atari, but I have a few, and I have a Super Nintendo I bought later at a yard sale or a flea market or something. That's pretty rough looking. I really need to clean it up, but I have a couple games somewhere, but I'm not sure where they're at. So I honestly never played Super Nintendo. That opportunity, but I had Genesis, so I thought it was cool. and everything. Side a little bit. Those. Reshape this face a little bit, but that's all right. Just never drawn him before, which is the case with a lot of these I do on the streams. A little bit me and a little bit of Brett here. Always liked this character, and he was on my short list to do one set. I just haven't got around to doing him yet. Like the Mario Brothers characters too. There's a couple of them out there in GPK World. The Mario Brothers. Grr effect to him here. Get it close. Try to get the eyes going. Probably reduce the size of the nose some. Get the eyes are not traditional GPK shapes. Does this boxier thing sometimes with them. Just reduce down the nostril flare there. But better. Oh yeah, so yeah, the Bookworm set. Well, I think Bookworms is because of some licensing deals. They had to have some versions of that out, different places first. Yeah, it is weird though. I wouldn't have guessed that either. I'd You could argue the other way too and say, "Wow, I thought the licensing for the other set would have preceded it," or I don't know. I can tell you, I pre-ordered some Chrome, and that's really I don't even really care when I get it anymore. Probably a terrible viewpoint. Not a good way to look at it, but just don't care. Try not to harp on it. But I don't collect the same way as most collectors. Rarely collect anymore. So that is a little different for me. But it's frustrating, obviously. Frustrating for everybody involved. Artists involved, collectors. I'm sure it's frustrating for some people at Tops as well. I'm sure they would want to print that stuff out and make money on it instead of just sitting there and making us mad. Hopefully they hold those deadlines, those dates they released. Not sure why I did it this. Leave a little space there for the tree. I'll have to reshape these little spikes on them several times. This part is this here larger. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Vacation sketches for me are going to be better. I mean, I just had more time to work on them. I did bookworms, and you know, bookworms are going to be what they are. But no regrets. I would like us to be able to sell our returns at some point. You know, I do think, though, in honesty, that when all these sets come out, people will forget about the delays, and there'll be a few people him hawing about how it was this time, and people will forgive and forget of short memories once things are out and they have product in their hands and they're trading and collecting, and they're going to forget about the. And then some people probably have moved on, other things, but that is what it is. I can understand both viewpoints. I do wonder, DK, where they'll stop with Chrome, if they'll go to Chrome 7 or where. I mean, it's really debatable how far they could go. Um, I think it's just depend on how profitable projected numbers for 4 are, and then they'll assess for 5. I could see them doing 5 quite easily, even after this restructuring they've done with Antics. There's an issue with the printers. There might have been an issue with the stock, like to getting the content. That's what they can things. Real thing is going to be that the printers weren't available. They had to print MLB projects, Star Wars things. I'm sure those being more licensed, pay for those licenses, they had to get them out at a certain time frame. Internal stuff, GBK wackies, things like that. They're always gonna be the last thing to go. Something. As far as those limits on the drawings, we can't draw. The restrictions on the pee and the poop. I mean, the blood's a big one. I think the blood's huge because the blood is like in a lot of different characters, and that hurts. Like I know I stopped drawing a few characters because of that. Shame is what happened. I just think some artists are not going to care and they're going to draw what people request. I think there will be some of us who do that. Seems to always be some level of that. I mean, there's sketch artists right now who draw stuff that's not authorized already. I I don't think they'll be able to crack down that quickly. I know they're on one circle today. I saw they were sending message to the Star Wars folks and some reminder about some of the rules and things. But that's a different group and a different set of rules than us. Swirly motiony kind of thing. I had to just kind of lightly outline the spin down here and then kind of do it with mark. Trees. tree in there. I like how Brett got this tree to look very digital, folds in it and stuff. Try to close to that. Try. Give me a minute to get that right. Yeah, Bobby, you're right. There are still rules, but you're right. It makes it harder. I usually follow the rules and stuff, and it's I got to say it's frustrating to me that when there's rules set for some of us and then others break it and there's no, I don't want to see anybody really get in trouble for it, but at the same time, it limits people who do follow the rules. We can't produce the same kind of art because that people want because it's just not allowed. I've had people wanting to buy blanks and things at one point, all kinds of stuff because they quote unquote collect blanks, that kind of thing, which is probably a load of crap. Customers who I've also made art for, they've asked for blanks and things. Kind of funny to see that. Also seen a lot more blanks show up on eBay. I've noticed it recently. There was some more food fight and even bookworms blanks up on eBay. Someone had dumped them. So, I don't know what you do about that. Tops can go ahead and request those be pulled if they really cared. I mean, if that matters to them. My problem, but there's some collectors would like to have a blank in their collection or have different artists do one. I mean, I get it. That's taboo subject night. Oh yeah, yeah. People who buy the pencils. See, I just don't do any pencil sketches exclusively. Or if you do pencil sketches, you need to seal them. Yeah, that's you know, it's one thing to get a blank sketch card and do your own thing. And if you're not on the set, it's not official. But look, you want to do your own thing. I get it. But if another thing for an artist, any type, to take someone else's work and erase it, and then do something else and sell like that, that's pretty disgraceful. And you'd be surprised. I hear things of people who do that. People that would surprise you. But yeah, that's a shame. I think I've only ever done two pencil sketches like that, and that was in my first Wacky Packages online set. And I know that at least one of them was in a collection, and then I think the other one was too, but they didn't get erased. But I did two of those like that. I don't think people like them that much unless they request them. So, of course, it's truly a sketch card, so here's the thing here. Yeah, I've heard of people painting over things too, painting over sketch cards that were done in other ways as well, painting over people's names and yeah. And some of them are pretty popular artists, so shame. Gotta contact Tops tomorrow and see where I requested payment for a set and I haven't gotten it yet for one that's already been produced. So concerned they have another shipping issue. Different. Never know. One of my nightmare recently with Tops has been shipping, which has not been historically a problem for me. And then of late. All right, let's see here. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, still waiting on payment for all this. Yeah. Um, I don't ever get any communication back now from Tops, basically, unless I use I mean, from the GPK side, I don't. Um, like, well, yeah, basically, if I write it, I mean, they've talked to me, but one way street. The thing is, if you want to work on the property, sometimes you have to deal with people who are difficult, or you know, departments that are not fully functional. Like I think Tops right now is still going through a lot of changes, staffing wise and things. You have people filling in for different departments like ours, the GPK stuff, and you get mixed results. You get mixed communication, bad communication. Not how you're supposed to run a business, but what happens sometimes. Just trying not to take it personal. Oh, it is irritating. Some of this stuff here. And the ring. Let's talk about the ring a little. You can hear the sounds, the little dinging sounds in the rings now when you get hit. My head. I hate that Sega kind of went away. Didn't. I mean, it didn't fully go away. I know it was software point of view, but the consoles did. Do the retro ones and stuff, but I guess there wasn't room enough. I mean, well, the Sega Corporation, Dreamcast, right? Was the last one. Dreamcast competed with the PlayStation 2. I remember when I was in first year of college. I think I never had PlayStations. Actually, I still haven't. I have PlayStation 2 now and one, but kind of like as a retro console. I bought them later on. Actually, more of an Xbox person. Just my wife got me an Xbox, so that's played. Button to kind of put that as a little bit of an angle there. We'll put a little bit of an aura around it. Aura. Aura? Be kind of tricky airbrushing around that, so it might be challenging. Terrible. Face. It all gets. Oh, so the Dreamcast. I remember the Dreamcast also had like an internet connectivity too. Like I think it had a dial-up modem on it or something. You could online gaming was it was online gaming capable, and so was the PlayStation 2. And I have the hard drive for that. You know, what is an accessory? I wanted to have all the stuff to it. Yeah, I heard the Dreamcast was a little disappointing. Sucks. And I also have a Sega Saturn over there too, as part of my collection over there. Heard that was a really powerful box. It just didn't have the software for it. He's got like a little bit of smoke kicking up here. Better if I. A little bit on the edge of the car. Gimmicks. I don't remember. I just don't remember the Dreamcast that well. I remember when it came out marketing wise and everything. And I have one, but I have some games for it. I just didn't really play it again. I bought it afterwards, trying to collect retro gaming stuff for a while. Back into really hooking all that stuff up. I will soon though. I've been kind of inspired to resume that. All right, so something for this smaller. Pick a couple things here. And a little bit more here with the face part. Or we extend out enough of his cheek here so we can get like a little bit of that GPK cheek thing going on there. It's a game of adding and subtracting, right? Down a little bit. Kind of giving him more too much of a point there. Here are the spikes. some of these away. Oh, these are pretty. Went through the first time I didn't really space them appropriately. Tree. Gotta check the movie out now. DK was talking about it earlier. You know, I watched it again with my son. He'll like it. I know some of the people who've seen the second one, but they didn't really tell me what they thought of it. They weren't a big fan of the whole series, so not a great person to ask. Approach on the Bobby, have you started any work on any commissions recently? Official? Or unofficial? Anything. I think we're about ready to ink. Let me figure out one more thing. Sort of blends into the other arm of it. Just the glove here. It's usually covered by the chin. I didn't come down for the chin, but that's shaded in kind of because he's got kind of a flesh tone chest area, from my recollection. Draw a little bit wider. A little bit too. Uh, do I stream multi-platforms? I do have the capability to do that. I stopped doing it mainly because it's a little more setup. There's another clan I run at the same time. Um, and I did it through Restream.io, but I couldn't ever see the comments or the chat or anything. I had no way to control what's going on over there or seeing what's going on, so I could never. I think you helped me one time, Bobby, with it. I was that one I did, but I really got frustrated with it because I couldn't see any of the comments afterward or anything. So I just, you know, concerned it wasn't a good experience for people, and I definitely couldn't stop doing it with Facebook. I was gonna do it too, like do a Facebook stream to them, and then they got difficult with me one time. I was just streaming to Facebook exclusively one time for something, and on a different computer, a new computer I was signed into, I was authorized on it, special security thing on it, and they claimed it wasn't me and they blocked my account from streaming. So I think it got lifted, but claiming it wasn't me. So I just got frustrated with them entirely. I will go back to it and try to restream again on multiple platforms. I think it'd be kind of useful to do that. Um, line over there. I do advertise this stream on Instagram every time I'm going to go live with it, so I think I probably should, make an effort to stream over there at some point exclusively. Maybe I'll go over there and stream one. I don't have a tremendous amount of followers over there or anything. I don't really care too much about that kind of stuff, but I do have a lot of good followers over there who support me. So I appreciate the everybody who does. Every little counts, to be honest. I got 50 subscribers now on this, which is not anything huge, but I'm not really working at it, and that's cool. So appreciate everybody who does like and subscribe to videos and stuff. Awesome. Maybe one day I'll get more where I'm marketing things more, but not the objective really. Doing the artwork. People check it out and like it, great. They don't, that's okay too. Hopping around here playing with this. Just stay in one area, but I want to move around and play with it a little. I did check out a card show last weekend. I think I was mentioning last time. Oh, the comments were showing. Very cool. Thanks for feedback on that. Yeah, Trenton with GPK Live, the Garbage Pail Kid. The GPK Lives have been great streams. There'll probably be one, I think tomorrow maybe. Um, Tentatively, I think maybe one tomorrow. Hopefully there will be one. But those have been really great. He uses StreamYard for that, which lets him do multiple areas as well. But I've used Restream to do it, and I like that. I can stream out to 3 platforms, I think, with Restream. I will probably try it again. Takes a little bit of effort to get all the streams ready and everything. In fact, tonight I'm on my secondary hotspot, or my other hotspotable device, I should say, because I'm running low on data on my other main device month since I've been on so many streams with other people and done these consecutively. Well, the way I should. Ran low on them, so data. Not a problem. This stream seems to be okay. I haven't checked the quality in a while, but I'm not seeing any sort of problems on the indicator here. Bobby, I'd like to get you on one of these one time. Maybe we can do the StreamYard. I have a StreamYard account too. We'll get you on one of these and just talk to you. Some other folks out there too. Patrick and Kay. And if Joe's out there, we can grab him too. And I think DK asked me one time, do you take requests while you draw? I was like, no, I try to plan these out a little bit more than that, but it would be cool to have at least some audio feedback instead of just chat. It's kind of hard. I miss chat sometimes and don't mean to, but it is kind of difficult. Chat, drawing straight and all that. I do like doing the live streams though. I think they're fun. let you connect with the community a little bit as well, and that's been good for me. Helps you gauge what the state of of the fandom is for it. Cool. Real people who are still into the stuff. It's fun to talk to anybody who's passionate about some interest you might have, whatever it might be. We'll try to slip into those. We're gonna have Patrick back sometime too to finish up one of his drawings. He's been hard at work on a few others, so staying at it, man. Staying at it, drawing every day. Trying to, at least. That's the way to do it. Been decent. Weird digital tree looking things, almost like paper mache trees, really. Only getting like a little bite of them in. Well, I really thought about doing the full size, like well, not full size, but the 4x4 art art tiles again because I think I could do more with it, but it's okay. It is sketch cards. I do have a few drawings I need to do full size drawing. I would coming up soon. I need to work on. Got a few more of those. Think about that. I might add some more stuff in there in the end. Yeah, the other thing about that multi-stream is, it's hard managing. Imagine managing comments from multiple sources at once. That could be kind of hard if you're doing chat comments. I would not. I don't envy Trenton on that. No, he does not enjoy it either. Sometimes you're trying to get them all in there and not miss anybody. That's the thing. You don't want to miss anybody. They feel like they were listened to, acknowledged in some way. Put in here for this. So my reference keeps dropping off over here in a weird. Been using it a lot. Oh, yeah, I suspect that, Bobby. Thank you. I miss a lot of them too. I miss a lot of the comments, but yeah. Lucky for me, not too many people were chatting too much for me, but I enjoy the ones who do. Bobby, I can't recall, and I haven't been on YouTube a whole lot looking around, but and thanks for your comments on my Hogan video. But have you done any live streams recently? Or I can't recall. I know you've done a lot of videos. May have done a couple of live streams. Can't remember if you've done one any recently. Apologize if I've missed any. I like the sculpture video, the ones that are time lapse. Bubble smoky effect. Lining in here. But yeah, I kind of like that. So it's going to be kind of red, and through here I'm going to do a gradient of red, and here will be some blue, I think. I think we'll do some blue inside here, spinny effect, and some red through here, and we'll see how that. We'll get started here. Some color. You've never done a live stream? Okay. I couldn't remember. I don't recall one, but I was trying to think if I had missed one or was misremembering, but I thought maybe you did one or two. Sure. Oh yeah. Well, I know what you mean about that. I have I think I've mentioned before, I have at least 20 terabytes of video content, and I always figure like this, if I'm not happy with it, I can always delete it. I don't have to show anybody if I don't like it. And a lot of it's good, and a lot of it I don't share. It takes time to sort of time lapse it and format. It doesn't take a lot of time. My production quality is not super high, but it's just like I do want it to be decent. Let me erase some of my pencil graphite stuff up here. Left a lot of them on there. Some of these lines I'll thicken up afterward. Get it colored and thicken them up later. But I know what you mean. It's a different thing to share your artwork out there publicly, and I always think of the good stuff I hear and try to focus on that. I haven't had a lot of negative experiences with the artwork side of things. Most people are 99.9% people are supportive. It's someone might find a card they don't like you did or something, or some drawing, and they might comment some back alley place in Facebook or some junk, but I don't really care about that anymore. I guess for me, I'm only competing with myself. That's all I really try to remember. Just trying to do good artwork that I'm happy with. No, I'm not competing with other artists or trying to be this or that. Different places. I think a friend of mine convinced me though to record them. She said, you should just record your videos. Somebody might want to see them one day. Okay. All right. Cost anything? Thought my son might want to check them out one day. And occasionally I put one up. I did really well the Hogan one. I'm pretty happy with that for me. It did well for the views. I think the client liked it. Sometimes it's kind of funny with that. You don't ever hear back from the client. When you do one, sometimes you do. Kind of funny. I don't have any expectations with that though. It's their work. They can enjoy it privately. I guess. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Patrick. You are doing great work, Bobby. I think you're a fantastic addition to the GPK rosters. Good to see somebody who is passionate about product who's also doing the artwork. Matters and shows when you do. Turned out pretty good too. But keep lining it a little bit here. Lines, I can come back to it. I was happy in the one GPK live stream to give away a couple of these. I gave away Electric Bill and a Juicy Jessica. All right. Should bring the dip pin back out soon. Fun. There's my other. Oh, I've also thought about using this. You're gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, that's awesome. The last video had almost 1,000 views. That's incredible. Thought about using this to do a dip pin drawing with. Yep, it's a quill pin. I was gonna do it. I'm gonna do a sketch card video one day with this. I don't think I'll do a live stream, but I'll do a sketch card with this. So we'll pour the ink in there, and I'll go straight with it. Try to use it just for fun, something different. Not that these aren't challenging enough, right? But yeah, we'll do one of these one day. It'll be fun. All right. I think I got some colors. Let's start doing some coloring here. Let's see. So blues, right? Let's do some blues. Need a couple blues here. Let's see. B06. Pretty dark. It might be good for the dark areas. We'll see. Go with a 4 and a 2 and see how I like that as well. And then there's a 1. Maybe a 1 might be all right. Yeah, we'll start with the 1. We can start with the 1 and build up from there. I think that might. One subscriber. I gained one this week from the Hogan video. I was happy with that. But yeah, you get 1,000 views and 1 subscriber. That's all right, you know. I think I'm gonna use the BO4 for the darker color. We'll hold on to the 6 just in case I wanted to go there. And I'll start off with the 1. Just do a base coat with the 1, and then we'll come in with that. And then trying to remember his arms and stuff. And I got a little muscular here, so that's cool. Just are. Oh, there's some Arnold Schwarzenegger arms on there. Oh, look at me. All right. You know, I thought about doing the Arnold too from the 80s set. There's a 90s set. No, he's in the 90s. He's on the 90s collector's box. See, they get so confusing to me. The 80s and the 90s ones because Terminator was in the 90s technically. Terminator 2 at least. And I love that card. Another Brett Engstrom card actually, where he's thrown up kind of in the shotgun in his hand. I never got a collector's box when they were affordable. I think I have a blaster box. I don't color the inside of his ear. There, inside's like a little bit of a pinkish color. So don't forget. I don't know why I would forget, but I just feel like to. And I'm gonna go with this random Red Violet 02. Why not? Just something different, right? Never use it. Some value out of it. Oh, RoboCop's awesome. Yeah, RoboCop and that one. Now that was in the 80s set, wasn't it? You guys ever check out Netflix? There's a series called The Movies That Made Us. And there is a documentary, behind the scenes documentary about RoboCop. And it shows all the ins and outs of how they made the movie, how they got the director. You know, pretty cool stuff in that series. Ever seen that series on Netflix? They do a lot of movies actually. They cover a lot of classics, pop culture classics. Probably worth checking out. What was his eyes? He has blue eyes as well. Like we're gonna probably get to a point where we're gonna probably use some pencils on this. Man, feel like it's gonna be that kind of night. Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah, the movies that made us. There's also the toys that made us, which are pretty cool too. That's another documentary series, and they're fun because they go behind the scenes and they show the real events of how they create these things and how it's crazy. It's always some kind of crazy story. Like somebody ripped somebody else off or had a weird idea, and then this worked out, and then it turned to this and that. You know, very interesting stuff. I'm gonna build up a little shading on some. At least start to. I hear the Sega. I remember the Sega logo when it comes when you boot it up because kind of funny. Some of these sketch cards, I did like a Knight Rider one time, and I was missing to the Knight Rider theme when I was doing it, like the Turtles theme. Visit some turtle cards. I'm gonna blend this in a minute. Yeah, they don't. Toys used to be a lot more fun. I thought some toys were good today, though. I mean, there are some cool things about some of the toys that are out now. but overall they're not as fun or different. Yeah, I like the detail on some of the toys. I think the detail and some of the nostalgia products that are look, some of the toys that are made now are basically remade for people like us who are this age. I think they're cool when the kids get them and stuff. So I mean, pricier, but you look at the Marvel Legends line, how detailed some of the Star Wars stuff. Transformers now aren't as cool to me, but like some of them are pretty. There is one like those transforming Optimus Prime they have now. That's pretty cool. Super expensive. It's pretty cool they would put that effort into a toy. Because back in the 80s, the story of how that would have been made would have been way cooler, you know? Would have been a guy who risked his career to almost not get it made and then mortgaged his house for the prototype and then got it made at the last second by some executive who just got hired or something like that. That's how it would work. Bobby, I think I have the Game Genie. Do you remember the game? There's a thing on the Nintendo. They had it for Genesis. They had it for Sega Genesis Master System. They also had it for Game Boy. It's called the Game Genie. I still have the books over here somewhere for it. But I have the Game Genie for this Genesis. Cheap. Old retro gaming is cool. Patrick and I over here we play Halo together a lot. We play it's with a lot of my friends in Halo. Going way back to Halo 2 days and Halo 1 I used to play. Got a stack of games though that I haven't played. Didn't start doing a little more artwork. I kind of didn't have time for games. Just sad. But I do try to take breaks and try to get back into it and work on that endless stack of games over there. Some of them are aging out too. Like, do it. Oh yeah, Quake 3. Okay. Well, the Command and Conquer stuff. I remember those. I didn't really play them, but I know friends who did, and they gave me a copy. Quake, I was never into the online Quake stuff, but I played Quake 1 and Quake 2 um, a lot. Just local stuff, campaign things. I started my first person shooter stuff with Wolfenstein 3D on a PC. Going back there. It was a shareware version. It wasn't even the full game version. And then later on, I got it on same copy. It was on 3.5 floppy disks, and then I had a CD-ROM copy. It was installed from a CD-ROM, and then I had the sequel to it, Spear of Destiny, and the box art in that's pretty cool. I'll have to show that sometime. And I have a whole row over here on a shelf just full of all those games I played back in the 90s. Played that. I played Star Wars Dark Forces, which was like a Doom killer back then. It was like the graphics were a little better than Doom. Played Doom some, not as much as Wolfenstein was my thing. I really like Wolfenstein, and I'm gonna leave the blue alone for a minute. I can keep working on the blue. I love blue, so I can keep working on them. I'm just gonna slide in here and work on the ear and do a little more thing to the ear here. Probably blend that out if I don't like it. Work on the skin tones. So his face is almost like a traditional skin toned human character. Go easy on it. Same with his arms. So come in here and do a regular face I do for the skin tones, just E00, and then I'll probably build it up some with either darker earth tones, or I'll come in here with some reds, and maybe both. Blend up a little bit in here because he has like a little bit of an area where it sort of. Oh, Return to Castle Wolfenstein was one of my favorites. Yes, the one 2000. It was so good. It was so good when it came. Yeah, that's one of my favorites actually. The later on ones they made for the Xbox and stuff, the ones on our console, can't remember the names of them now, but they weren't quite as good. They were still fun. They were fun, but Return was the one that was such a good game. 2000. Around that time, the 2000s, late 90s, I played any kind of shooter that was even reasonably decent. All that stuff. Kind of careful with that. That's a dead marker. Look at that. That must be why it's over. You know what? Many streams ago, the C9 I warned you about, we're going to have to revive it or seal it up, and I didn't seal it up. There it is, dead. Because this cap on the end was really super loose. So, anyway, well, maybe we'll do a video on rejuvenating these. There's a way to bring them back. So, funny. Books are too expensive to let die. Watching people play. I don't think I've done a whole lot of that. Sometimes I'll watch a new game or something out. Let's see. I can work with that with some pencil stuff and make that shine a little bit more. I think. Won't love that, but it'll be okay. These. Work on the skin tone in here. The nose. Probably use a little bit of pencil work to lighten that up a little bit on this side and then shine up on top some. The E95. Build up a little darker tone on the bottom of his chin here. This marker I think is one of my ones that's a little older. I think E93 is real close. Zeros, I believe it is. Yeah, pretty close. And that's a new marker. We're going to use that instead. Up a little bit down here. And about the arms. Bottom of the arms kind of faded here. A little darker in there. Might be too much. There we go. Beige, barley beige, E11. Good color. I think I'm a little low on the ink in it, but bad. Thank you, DK. Yeah, I've dropped a cat before too. I haven't lost them permanently, but they do seem to like have a life of their own once they get off the marker. They can fly across the room, and the worst thing is that I know you've never done this. Anybody who's taken a cap off and be working and put a cap on the other end, and then you've got, oh no, they now which marker is it? You can always look on the body, but I've put them away and reach for a marker and it's something else. Not often, just mainly on the skin tones because I'm using a hurry. I've done it. One of the baby skin pink. It's one of the banned markers here. They stopped naming it this. I forget what they called it now. Baby skin pink was considered offensive, so they do a little bit of shading on it. See if I can pull it off. Too bad. I'm gonna use a C2. On the edge. Probably can't see it from the camera, but just add like a little bit to the teeth of the gum there. Right. Oh, we need to do a little bit grays on the gloves as well. Do a little work on this. Start with this C1. One's a little beat up. Right on. About the same. Actually has a lot of shading on his gloves. This one. Too much. Too little. Let's just step it up because that's not doing a lot. Let's go to the 2. I'll probably end up going a little darker than 2 as well. But real easy on it. I don't come back and fix this. Famous last one. Here. Go ahead and just do it on here. Yep. That right there. Have either of you ever, anybody ever mixed any inks together? You can get an empty Copic marker, harder to come by, but you can get an empty one and mix your own colors in them. I have not really done that on purpose, but I do have one that I mixed another brand of ink into. Got a red over here like that. Spectrum Noir color, like in a Copic. And you're like, why would you do that? Like, well, I just like the brushes were better. And the airbrush with it too. Any reason for me. Oh, we'll come back with a pencil. Probably the last bit of ink. I have to spend 30 years on little shading stuff. bad thing is they don't just sell caps to these things, do they? Buy the whole marker over again if you lose the cap. That's the trick. All right, so I'm going to use a R14, a light rouge. Just start to some red into some spots here. Well, I want to add a darker section here. I want to blend in some just white area here where he's going really fast. That. Something darker and go over that. Let's see, so I used R14 for that. Let's bump it up something high. About a 17, both an R17. This is lipstick orange. May not be dark enough. Well, we'll step it up with this and see. This marker is also kind of old. Yeah, they get too old, they start feeling kind of gummy. You can feel the gum effect. This I can see a little bit of that happen here, but you can use it to your advantage sometimes. If I get something lighter than that. I really want to blend in there just a touch. A little bit, not much. Let's see what this R01 does. It's like basically a pinkish color. Blend this right here. Not into the white, but just into the section between here where I saw these brush strokes. Okay. Still might go over that again, but we'll see. Too much. I can come with a white pencil in there and add back what I want to if I don't like it. I might. Hey, Chris, thank you. Appreciate that. Just taking our time with it. We may even come back to it another night, too. Let's see. Let's get the eyes. Jump around a lot tonight everywhere. Go. One. Darker, though. Here we got some like blue, more blue stuff going on inside the shoe spin there. A different shade of blue. A little too muted. I like that. That was a B52. Soft greenish blue. Yeah, makes sense. Or the B12. Yeah, we'll play with that. And again, I want to just leave a little white area in here. Some more blues in there. Pop a little bit more. Muted, I think. Use it to the bottom here to make it. Rather 14. Pretty dark. Okay. Looking kind of cool. And I'm going to blend that just slightly. Something light. Use this B00000. Too many zeros. Be some other colors too. I think I've burned out of them. Doc. Okay. So that along with some pencil work in the end, I think will be fine. Let's see. A little darker in the orange just for a second. And for some red, I want to use. That'll work. R21. Give it more of a red tint to it. Just a slightly more contrasty. Go ahead and do the cheeks while we're here. I use a R85 rose red. I'm going to try that. Pretty dark, but we'll blend it around if we need to. Pretty bold, pretty dark. It's probably too dark, but I'm going to try it. Go quick with it and go light. It's going to dry a little lighter, and I can also blend that around. Don't have to, but I'm using R11. So blend. All right, DK. Look at this tree a little bit. So this tree is a mixture of sort of almost a brown orange color. I can make that work. Way too dark. My E97 color. I really like this color. It's going to work well. I'll use it kind of for a base coat in this. And give a little white space in the center there. Or on the edge. How do it. Let's see. I think we missed a line. I missed a line here. What kind of tree this is this? I don't know. Definitely a digital looking tree. I don't know. Or is in Sonic? Real trees or are they fake? These. I mean, Even a little bit lighter in this short little. Try something different. I think I'll hit them with this as a base. Then I'm going to come back with the other marker. Shade on the bottom of the right. They're not uniform, they're not perfect, but it's a tree, so I don't really care. Yeah, yeah, he's stuck in the tree, not be able to get to the ring. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Or Sonic. A little darker on the. Okay, I'm gonna go really dark. So this is a reddish brass. It's a E17. Pop pretty nicely. Very lightly. Keep that little white space. That. Let's see. A little off on the bottom of this. Let's see. We're doing. Could use a multi-liner and probably do it a little easier. But a little practice with your Copics. Often using the tip of it there so you don't like be nervous about when you're trying to get to a little small detailed area. But blend that a little bit up there. Like that. Something yellowish. I don't like that yellow it had either. This Y21, but it is appropriate. The buttercup yellow. Too far on it. That's good. Let's look a little bit at the smoke on this. I probably should have done that when I did the gloves. Let's go back to that. Do the C3 and just try to get it done, and then we can blend it around if we don't like it. Get these little, get the cloud bubbles. Taking that, and let's let's go to a C4. That was a C3. Look a little dark. At least in a few spots, not everywhere. Yeah. Do too. I want to add some more blue back into them. I want that to pop a little bit more, I think. Get a little dark in the blues. So, let's see. Shades for a second. This is a B16. I think that'll shade okay. Try that. Feather it in there a little bit. push that ink around a little bit more than I have before. Probably should do a little shading behind. We'll blend that around with something. Let's see. What's the one? 4 is a little strong. Where's the PO1 somewhere? There it is. Awesome. 5 for technical. It's on the B1 in a minute. That's why I told you earlier last stream, you put them in a cup, you can see all the markers you're working with. Throw them down like I do, and you'll be digging for them for a while. Ah, there it is. Soften that edge and pull a little bit of the ink up into the rest of the body of it. Right behind his head, I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. Pull it anywhere, really. And again, probably a little pencil work would, color pencil in there would do more for it. We probably will do that later. Put that tree up there. Wrap up here in a little bit. You guys been on here for a while. G14. Deviate tonight. I usually use my, at least for one of my colors. I use this touch fluorescent marker. This is a F.24 from Touch. That. I'm going to use these two together. This will be sort of a lighter tone and a mute tone with it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just everything with this one, then I'll go over with the other one and decide where I'll shade it a little bit here and there. I'll try to shade on the bend. Bend it either. Yeah, yeah. All alcohol markers, Chris, they blend pretty smoothly. It's just, the only tricks are knowing, you know, which ones to use together, and then like shading and stuff like that. The good thing about alcohol, you can always reinvigorate them by just going back to it. This drawing can dry, you can come back in here and sort of like move it around. You can push ink around. It's kind of nice. You're really limited by just the stock you're coloring on the kind of card. So you're gonna have a lot of bleed through on this one. You can see there's some already on there where I worked on here several times. Okay, I don't care. What? Think about what we want to color the title. Might leave that. I might blend it a little bit. Let's see. Really half. Could go one darker. I might do that. Just one darker a little bit. It was a G14. See if I got anything that's just fairly dark. 17. Look at the 17. Oh, there's a 16. We have a 16. A lot darker. Gentle on the edge of it. A bit more. And some of these darkers. Blend that. That should look kind of good. Thank you all for joining me tonight and watching the stream. Appreciate it. And those who are going to watch it on replay, I appreciate that as well. Try to have another time lapse video out this week. Hopefully, one the return card I did a while back. Video should be ready soon. Get that out this week, probably on Thursday. Thursday might be my new release day for videos. The Hulk Hogan one did really well. The Hacked Hogan sketch card, it was done last week. I put up on Thursday. It did really well. For me, it did. It's, did that on an apple-shaped sketch card from late to school. So, pretty neat one. All right, let's take a look at this ring here. Shiny and now they do make a gold color. They make this gold color from Copic, and I think it's real muted, dark. I might try to use it in a minute. Nothing wrong with it. It's just you need to use it with some yellows. See what I've got left. My yellows are historically like always lacking because they always wear out or dry up. I do have some of these weird, like not weird. They're tombos. That looks like it's not the right shade. We might give it a shot. What do you think? Are the tombos? These are Tombow alcohol-based markers too. T Pros. I never used them. I just pulled them out of the package a while back ago. I was going to review them and try them out. Work with that maybe. I'll prove you can use all. We use different color markers, different brands. What else I've got? By 4. Yeah. The base of the 13, so I hit any white spots in there. And like building up from a lighter color to a dark. Sometimes it's just about being comfortable with grabbing a color and saying, yeah, I'll start there and I'll move up. In the end, you may not even need it. So, and it really probably is. So let's go back. I kind of like, not really this one, but this E985. That's a lot of number for what? Anyway. Try that out a little bit. Good brush. I'm going to layer down and do some more shading towards this side of this ring to make it look a little darker with the gold color. Well, the light's kind of coming out. He's trying to kind of go with the color. Kind of looking over that way now, but that's all right. Digging that. I do have a actually Uniball Gold as well. I think that might be a little bit silly at this point to play with it, but I could go in there and do a little line of it. I would like the silver better. The gold just never, like, that color's not coming out the way I want it to. A little too I usually use it for like doing smaller highlights on things. And I could use gold paint as well, but I don't think we need it for this drawing. I do have a gold paint pen. Let's go like one little darker than this. This is not bad. I think what I'll do is use like a brown in there or something. Or even that you know, that this color, this deep orange, is E97 we used earlier on the tree. Try that. All right, I can live with that. Let's see. Like there's like a little bit of graphite still around here somewhere around his hands and stuff. Then I'll maybe start spraying this thing. Do some lining. I'm gonna probably bolden up some of these lines, and then after I spray it, I could do some pencil work maybe. I think we're gonna wrap this stream up here in just about 5 minutes. Folks have been on a long time. I appreciate it. I've been taking my sweet time with this one, so. All right, so let me see. He's got sort of a cloud effect going in the background, just typical clouds like you remember from the games. Games having clouds, so we'll do that. Cloud color. Might be the wrong shade. I'm gonna go with this dark B95 light grayish cobalt. I'm gonna spray beside. We'll do some test sprays and see if we like it. So, take on my air compressor. Just see. This probably will be too dark. I won't like it, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, and also not spraying great. Like that's not spraying. Yeah, a little too grayish for me. Which sometimes it's all right. It would. I still don't think that would work well. Be a little more bright and happy looking. So this is a weird color. This is a fluorescent blue-green 2. And that might be more appropriate. I want it to be a little different color than him, but I want it to be still kind of bright and cheery. That was kind of some of the blues I sort of already used in my arsenal. So I'm going to start here a little bit. I want to make sure I leave a little cloud area in there for him too. So I'll leave that little white spot on it. And cautiously fire in there a little bit. Mindful of his gloves, not trying to get close to that. Fire in this once. Just gently come down through there. Back up here and add some more spray. Not terrible. I could come in here and probably fire there once, but body won't. Not too bad. Now, I'm going to call it a night on this stream, but I am going to continue to film this and finish up a little bit. I want to do some work on the banner. I'll come in here and do some pencil work as well. And I'll do a recap video with it time-lapsed and do the last segment where I finish it up. But we've been going about 2 hours, so I think I'm going to cut off at 2. And I really appreciate everyone showing up tonight, participating in the chat. Everyone, DK, Bobby B, Chris, Patrick, everybody else out there too. I appreciate it. Um, hopefully there'll be another stream this week on GPK Live, and I might guest on there a little bit and hop over there for a little bit if you're familiar with them. That's on the Garbage Pail Kids channel, GPK Live. But I'll be back here again next week. Probably on Tuesday, Monday. It's been floating around, but I'll definitely put up a video notification. So anyway, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Thanks.